no, knees are feeling pretty good. I'm jumping and.
Oh yeah, are you dunking yet?
Nah, I can dunk with like a little ball, but not a full size ball.
So you still I do the plyometric training.
Just once a week. But I'm trying to like drop a couple of kilos, so then I don't have to carry as much. Not too much, just like two or three. So then when I jump, I don't have as much excess weight. But I've sort of committed long term, so like this whole year, next year, so I'm not in I guess I am in a rush, but not like I'm not saying I have to do it in 6 weeks or whatever. So, I feel like I'm progressing the right way, and I'm learning how to jump. The jumping is a skill, I didn't realize it was such a skill, like left, right, left. Because I would try to dunk a few times in the past, and I would just try to jump, and I could still grab the hoop, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I'm still learning now, but I have an idea. And the arm swing as well. I didn't realize the arm swing. So trying to jump with the ball, you take your arms out of the action. It's so hard. And so the goal is to try to get my jump good enough that I can do like a tip jam or like an alley-oop, a one-hand alley-oop, because then I can still use my arm swing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So use my arm swing and then just sort of tip it in.
So,
then I'm gradually trying to build up the ball. So I did have like a little ball, and then I gotta get a medium-sized one, then a girl's ball, and then a boy's full size 7 ball.
Shucks.
But
when you said you're learning how to jump, so all your life have you been people can jump off one foot, or off the one leg, or because when you watch people, they're more explosive off the one leg, or both a two plant. Like Dominique Wilkins, he was a plant that's 2 feet in there, and he would just explode.
Yeah, I learned a lot through the knees over toes guy. Yeah.
So what are you? Have you been a 2 foot going jump, or a 1 foot off your 1 foot?
So I've learned a lot. Like, so I've got wide hips. So there's different body types too. So usually guys with wide hips. I'm a force jumper, like force production. So there's guys with like narrow hips, and they're sort of springy.
Shucks.
So they have like bounce in their step. And I notice it now. So they're just fast. It's genetics, the way their body's made to. They're more lighter. And so I have to use strength and power. So I'm a 2 foot jumper, usually left, right. But I have to do right, left if I want to be balanced. Because you land a certain way if you jump off your left and right. So when you land, I can't remember how you land, but you'll land maybe left, right. And so if you do that a million times, you're going to end up with a knee injury. And so that's how Derek Rose blew his knee out, knees over toes guy, I reckon. So he watched all his dunks, and he's always a left-right jumper, I think. Yeah, I think left-right. Oh, left foot. Oh, one of the, something. But he did the same dunk type every time, and so he was imbalanced just over time. But he says Kobe Bryant is the most balanced jumper.
Because he can do both.
Yeah, he did both foot. So left, right,
and then
left, right, and right, left.
Oh.
So he had the most dunks from all 4 plants.
Oh.
So that enabled him to have less of a chance getting knee.
Well, he only blew his Achilles out, but he never had a knee injury.
Oh man.
And
Shucks, that's
so
cool,
even
man.
Jordan, he was a pretty balanced jumper.
Yeah.
So he could jump off
I was
his
going to say that.
left, right. So depending on the situation. So, because part of the training is we do like left, right, left, and then the next week you just do 1 footed jumping. Man, I'm so rubbish at jumping off 1 foot. But there's one of the boys at school. Shout out to Kuldeep. He's a narrow hip guy. Man, he's got mad hops, so he jumps off 1 foot. But that's just the way he is. And there's a guy on my team, Indian fella. He's real springy. He can't dunk, but he's elastic. Saying I'm force. So some guys are elastic, so they got like a certain bounce. So most islanders usually force. We're heavy. We've got wide hips.
Yeah.
But if you got those body types, usually a lot of ballers have is narrow.
Yeah.
They're usually more likely to be the 1 foot jumpers.
So
but if you jump off your left a lot, try to work on your right, even if you don't dunk, but just like layup. So then you can just have better longevity.
It doesn't matter what body type you are, just as long as you do both. Balance, you'll be fine.
This is just for injury prevention. You might be able to get a few years. Like Derek Rose was sweet for years, but then once he blew his knee out, it's just keep occurring. So you could get by for a while, but if you want to play forever or keep running forever, then try to do all 4.
You could be like a specialist trainer one day,
Well, that's what
And schools come to you, basketball teams come to you to, train them how to jump. or guys.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do it as well. So then, when people ask me questions, I'm like, I can speak from experience. Yeah. So I can be like, I've tried this and that, and I am doing it.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about depth jumps. This is like the number one plyometric sort of drill. I've done a little bit in the past, but not like a proper program. So I've just sort of started a little bit, but jumping is quite harsh, if you can imagine, jumping really high and then landing. So a lot of jumpers only jump once a week. People who jump, like amateurs will be like, I'm going to work on my jumping, and they jump every day. Yeah, you're most likely going to get injured. But if you play basketball, you probably don't need to do plyometrics because you're doing it in the game. Unless maybe only to work on the jump that you're not doing.
To add extra.
So if you're always a left foot,
yeah.
maybe just practice your right foot. But you don't need to do specific. You probably just need to get stronger, like in general. Some of the key muscles work as the tibialis, the front, the shin. So that's one of the key muscles because that helps protect the knee. So when you plant your foot, it absorbs and takes the pressure off your knee. You know what I mean? Calf raises, obviously. I thought that was a bit of an eats thing, but it's actually a legit thing.
Oh, so back in the days when
I was always like, I don't need big calves.
Yeah.
I don't have to have big calves. I just need to be strong, and it helps protect your Achilles as well from injuries as well.
Did you ever one of my close friends, he got the jump soles. Do you remember the jump soles?
Yeah.
And you know what?
I wanted them.
It worked.
Did it work?
Yeah. So my mate, one of my close friends, Yoange, he got them, and because he was already naturally, he had a bit of spring.
Yeah.
But he used them. Him and his cousin Michael Chang, and you saw the difference with them, because they showed how because they were doing like those depth jumps, like jumping onto with the jump soles.
Yeah.
Because what it was doing was it was all of the muscles you were using were your calves.
Yeah.
And your thighs as well. So it was, because remember the jump soles were just at the tip of your feet.
Yeah.
And it worked, man. Hey, you remember how high that guy was getting up, and it just came. He just started doing that, and then I remember one day, man, and he came and he dunked it on someone, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's for real,
Yeah.
It was all in the Slam magazine. Yeah, you used to see it, and they were like, hey, these things working. And I tried this for 4 weeks, and man, I was dunking the 12-foot rim. Okay. And then when I saw it actually work, because he was athletic already.
Yeah.
But it added that extra,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have worked because if his calves were weak and then he strengthened them and his quads, but he probably would have had more hops if he did a more well-rounded program. But
yeah,
I mean, he achieved his goal, so
yeah.
Well,
I saw
him still pretty.
I saw him
pretty
pull off
awesome.
some of
Still pretty awesome.
I saw him pull off some.
You can still get those jump soles.
Well, probably
they're probably banned.
No. Well, I think the jump soles.
I'm sure they led to some injuries down the track.
What it did though is that it was the original form of. I mean, it was plyometrics, but you just had that. I think that was just the gimmick. The actual meat of it was the exercises that you were doing.
Right.
Yeah, So I think
I didn't follow it. I seen them around, but I didn't buy into it too much.
But I think it was the actual exercises that were hard out. I think they got it from America.
I probably would have did it if I had got my hand on them.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's more. It was the exercises that were the actual term plyometrics was these jump soles were probably just they added maybe a little bit, but it was really the exercises that were the
that
real.
He did.
Yeah. So I remember him doing those exercises. I wonder if this is going to work.